Welcome to another video from East Beds Bushcraft, the home of #survival.
Welcome, Buzz here from East Beds Bushcraft, and on this video I'm going to be installing a log burner. Now this is one of the corners in one of my outbuildings, and my son brought home a fantastic find of this log burner. Now you can see that it's in quite a dilapidated state, but he was lucky enough, somebody was literally throwing it out, and so he picked it up, brought it back, then I gave it a respray, and this is how it looks now. And so we're going to go for the installation of it. First of all, we need to get some fireproof boards on this back corner to protect the wall of the shed. So that's going to be stage one. So we've got two of these A1 fire graded construction boards that are fireproof that we're going to put in on the wall. We've got slight lean on the actual outbuilding itself. It's been here for over about 30 years. So I'm going to need to do a little bit of cut on the fireboard to make it fit, and I need to reduce one on one side because of the window. I don't think they really need to be as tall as this against the wall, so what I'll do is I'll make them both the same height, which will be just underneath the windowsill. We've got the fireboard in place now so that we can put the actual log burner in position, and then we can get the flue in position, find out where we're going to cut the hole in the roof for the flashings. So that's the next job. That fits very snugly. So now we're going to move that round into position so we can start to see where we're going to get the flue put into the roof. Right, so this is the little wee beastie in position. As you can see, we've put the 90-degree bend for the flue on the back, and we've placed the log burner exactly where we want it. It's on concrete floor, so that's why it's nice and level. So next job is to get a plumb weight from the ceiling and literally dangle it so it goes straight into the middle of the flue. So we know that that is exactly going to be underneath where we're going to cut our hole for the flashings. I'm really looking forward to getting this installed. I've got a log burner, for many years experience with log burners. I've got a log burner in the cottage. I've got one of those little mini outbacker log burners that I use for camping, which is absolutely superb. And I've used many other log burners over the years. So let's get on with this one, and let's get marking up for the flashings. Okay, so I've got a plumb weight on the end of this marker pen. I'm just marking the centre, and that's exactly in the centre of the flue where I've got it positioned down below. If you have a look at the plumb weight down there, that's just there, down in the centre of the flue there. Boom. So that's perfect. So all I need to do now is to drill in out the roof from this side. Okay, this is the bit I've not been looking forward to because I hate putting holes in roofs. Obviously you've got a galvanised roof. There's wood underneath, so I'll be cutting through galvanised steel and wood. So I've drilled from underneath at that point I did with a plumb weight to get the point where I need the centre of the flue. Now I've got these, this is a silicon, high temperature silicon flashing, so I'm just going to position that right over that hole, and then you're meant to form it with your hands to get that down, which will eventually, I'll be screwing this and putting silicon underneath it while I get that in position. So that's good for that. Now what I need to do now is to literally just draw around these flashings. This is not the size of hole I'm going to be taking out here. Okay, but what I need to do is to draw around the flashings, so then I can come in a good inch inwards. I don't want the hole to be just big enough for the flue, but we've got, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, we want where the flashings get sealed, that's why I want about an inch hole, or just over. So if I just mark that up, there we go. So I will be happy with that. So what I need to do now is to go and get the drill, so I can drill 4 corners out, stick a jigsaw in, cut that hole out. Okay, so when you're drilling these holes, it goes without saying, make sure you've got nothing underneath, which is, you know, electrical or anything that you're going to drill through. Obviously, I know there's nothing there. Make sure your holes that you drill through can fit the saw blade through. I've got a hole in my roof. Right, so the next thing I need to do is to fit the flashings to the roof. So I need to drill some holes all the way around to put self-tapping screws in. But I also need to cut this for the flue pipe size. And what you've got on here, on one side is metric and the other imperial. Now we've got a 5-inch flue. The top one on this says, so the arrow points up to the hole at the top, and it says it's 3 3/4 inch to 4 5/8. And then the next one down, which is right on the rim there, says that is a 4 5/8 to a, let's have a look at that, 5 1/2. So all I literally need to do is just take that top little bit off, and then the flue, the flashings itself will be cut to the right size of the flue. So let's go and put the self-tapping screw holes in, and then we can get back up on the roof. Right, so now I've formed the flashings to fit. I've got this heat-proof silica to basically stick the flashings to the roof, as well as having self-tapping screws that will be put in, as I'll show you in a minute. I'll get plenty of this glued round there. More's the merrier, because I don't want it to have any leakage at all. Thank you very much. Now when using these mastic guns, it's always, make sure you've got some cloth around. Right, here we go. There you go, get squidge, squidge, squidge. That's getting really squidged down. There you go. Really squidged down. Add some tons of silicone sealant under that. Self-tapping screws. Let's have a look. see if they're going to go in without me needing to use the drill. They seem to be going in alright. So I'm going to work from the centre on each side, work out to the corners. Okay, so the flashings are now well and truly screwed down, formed to the shape. You know, I have put, maybe I've been a bit excessive on the silicon, I don't know, but frankly, I don't think you can go too heavy on the silicon sealant. I don't want any water coming off the roof and going in. So you know, I suppose if I found that there was any kind of leakage around here, I can always come up and put some more sealant on it. But frankly, I think more's the merrier in this case. Right, so we can go back down and start fitting the flue. Just out of interest, I'm using the heat-resistant silicon for putting the flashings on. Temperature up to 300 degrees centigrade. So that's was recommended for this particular flue. So I'm sure it'll be fine. So now that we've got the flue in, as you can see, it's got out the flashings nicely, but we needed it to be a two-man job. So Zach was inside feeding the flue up while I was up the ladder, making sure that the flue wasn't putting too much pressure onto the silicone flashings as it went through, because it's a real tight fit. So I needed to work the flashings over the flue, and then Zach needed to drop the flue down to sit onto the lower part of the flue, which meant that dragged the silicone flashings back down. Then I needed to hold the flue in position while I then worked the flashings back up so they were sitting cleanly. So yeah, on this part, very handy having two people on it. So now we've got the flue in position, everything is on the log burner. The log burner is in position with the fireboards behind, and then all we need to do is to go up and put the cap on top. Right, so that just leaves one last thing on the outside, that is anyway, and that is the bird-proof cowl. There you go. So we should have a reasonably good, well, hopefully a perfect seal around the flashings. If not, I can always come stick some more silicone sealant on here. This is stop the rain going down there, stop the birds getting in. One final job inside that I want to do, so let's go. So this is the final thing I wanted to do. I wanted to tidy up the inside, and I had some heat-resistant board left over. I've had this knocking around for ages since we had the log burner installed in the cottage, and so I made a plate for the flue. Basically drew around the flue, split it so I could come in piece each side, screwed it there. But what I also did is I put an awful lot of that heat-resistant mastic over the rough edge of the roof. So I've got loads of heat-resistant mastic covering everything. Then I put that in just to tidy it up. Now, one other point, and that is about the stove cement. A lot of the time you want to seal the joints of the flue with stove cement, and on this occasion the joint right at the back of the stove was really snug. So is the higher up ones, but this one is a little bit loose, but the pipe goes up inside quite a way. Now I use a log burner, a little portable one to go camping, and of course you put the flue up, you take the flue down, and there's no need to seal it, and I get no leakage or anything of smoke. So what I've done, since that I had already checked the flue out on this particular burner and it was a very tight fit, I'm going to be interested to find out if there's any smoke seepage at all. Of course, if there is, then I'll just drop the log burner out the way, drop out the 90-degree bend, put some stove cement in that joint and seal it up if I feel I need to. But at the moment I'm quite happy with it, so the next thing is let's test it, let's get a fire going. don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there's a heat ripple and virtually no smoke, which is great, because the great thing with log burners is that when you get them going, you get an initial smoke, and then after that it's clear as a whistle. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. It's all installed, it's working. It's fair to say this is just a small initial burn, nothing major. Won't let the sealant to dry off over the next week or so, but it's all working. Really easy to install. I'm really pleased with it. Okay, so that was a very simple installation, as I say. Really enjoyed doing this job. This is Buzz saying thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to the East Beds Bushcraft channel. See you all again soon.